Legend of Zelda is a legend of a franchise, with dozens of critically acclaimed games for basically every Nintendo console. The series paved the way for action-adventure and RPGs through the years, serving as an inspiration for countless games. But it all started when the original Legend of Zelda was released for the Famicom in 1986, with the North American NES version shipping out a year later. You play as Link, whose mission is to gather the 8 fragments of the Triforce of Wisdom, destroy Ganon, and rescue Princess Zelda. Along the way, you'll meet a variety of Ganon's minions, most of which have bizarre as fuck names, which we'll get into individually later. Just about all of them have 2 variations each, a blue and a red, with the blue ones always being the stronger of the 2. Killing off these creatures will often leave helpful items like hearts for health, and rupees for currency. You won't be able to level up your physical attributes with experience points like in an RPG, but you can spend the aforementioned rupees on items that will beef up your attributes, as well as weapon upgrades, health potions, and other miscellaneous etc. stuff. The game mostly takes place in the massive overworld called the Kingdom of Hyrule. Now in the story, Ganon's army has reduced this kingdom almost to ruin, so all the residents are resorted to hiding out in caves while all of Ganon's henchmen wander around Hyrule fucking shit up. The people in these caves will sell you items and information, as well as give you cryptic clues, or in some cases charge you money for breaking their door, aka blowing the shit out of their wall. You'd think these people would just give you these items and weapons, or not beat around the goddamn bush with the hints, since you're supposed to be the savior of their land. I mean, some of these people are just straight up dickheads. But then again, the idea of people being assholes in an apocalyptic type of environment isn't that far-fetched, is it? So the plot is that Ganon stole one of Hyrule's magical artifacts, the Triforce of Power. Before he could steal the Triforce of Wisdom, which would make him basically unstoppable with 2 of them, Hyrule's princess, Zelda, broke them into 8 pieces and scattered them in the underground dungeons of Hyrule before Ganon ended up kidnapping her. Link's objective is to venture into the 8 dungeons, find the respective fragments of the Triforce, and after acquiring all 8, head off to Death Mountain where Ganon resides, defeat him, and rescue Zelda, while restoring peace to Hyrule. The game does not follow a linear path. You can access almost any of the 8 dungeons at any time, although you do need certain items to gain access to certain areas, or to even access the dungeon at all. Each one is numbered, as you'll see on the screen, and it's highly recommended to go through them in numerical order, as they do increase in difficulty as the sequence goes on, and you'll acquire the necessary weapons and items to conquer the next one in some cases. There's really no advantage to going out of order. Each dungeon has some kind of a theme, like eagle or dragon. The map layout of the dungeon is based on its theme, so for example, the Eagle Dungeons map is in the crude shape of an eagle. Aside from the dungeons, you're strongly encouraged to explore every nook and cranny the overworld has to offer. There are tons of hidden doors and stairways that lead to shops, rupees, and sometimes necessary items or even an entire dungeon. You'll pick up some bombs and a candle which you can use to blow up walls or burn down trees, respectively, which uncover hidden areas for bonus items or sometimes necessary items. The thing is, a lot of this hidden shit is not at all hinted at any point, and like I said, a lot of that shit is cryptic anyway. So the only way to find these secrets, aside from internet walkthroughs or back in the day Nintendo Power, was to wander around, burn every tree, blow up every wall, push every block, whatever it took. Taking notes was imperative in these exhausting trial and error exercises, especially since the bombs are limited. You can buy some, or find them from fallen enemies, but it's always backtrack time. Same can be said for the candle, in a way, because the first candle you get, the blue one, you can only use once on a given screen. You have to leave and come back to try again, so a thorough exploration with the blue candle is tedious beyond belief. Once you get the red one, then you're able to just burn baby burn. But these are tests to your patience. This game is a war of attrition. You can find various weapons throughout the game, but your main weapon is the sword, which you have to actively acquire at the very beginning of the game. You can actually walk around Hyrule without any weapons at all. As far as your health meter goes, you start off with 3 full hearts, and that's your max until you find heart containers, which will each bump you up by 1. These are stashed away in various spots in Hyrule, plus you get 1 from each of the fallen bosses at the end of their dungeon. Some items, particularly your sword upgrades, you'll need to have reached a certain amount of hit points before you can actually take possession of it, so it's a great idea to get a hold of these things. When you max out your health, you're able to fire sword-shaped projectiles, giving you a long-range attack. Once you take a hit, even if it's half a heart, you'll lose the ability to fire your projectiles, forcing you to use the sword as a melee weapon. Now I know this is essentially the same thing I complained about in my Toxic Avengers review, but the big difference here is that, despite some very difficult parts of the game with huge swarms of enemies at a time, Legend of Zelda is not nearly as cheap with dishing out damage. Not to mention it's far and away more playable in general. Why the hell am I even comparing these two games? They shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence. Now I did just mention that there are difficult moments, and they can be on the verge of unforgiving. But like I also mentioned earlier, the game is about perseverance and patience. You're going to have to pay your dues by dying a lot. But like all skills that are worth mastering, practice makes perfect. Working the sword has a bit of a learning curve too, as you'll notice a slight delay in firing the projectile, and you might not be initially ready for the whole inability to have more than one projectile on the screen at one time, and that includes the explosion at the tail end of your attack. You have to wait for that to clear too. This will piss you off early on, but as you get used to the combat, including getting into a rhythm with short-range attacking and knowing when to retreat, you'll forget about all this. When you die and choose to continue, you'll be sent back to the beginning of the game, but you keep all your items, weapons, and maximum heart count, although you will only have 3 hearts filled, so you'll have to heal up in order to fire your sword once you've started increasing your maximum hit points. It's frustrating to die in a dungeon, especially when you're so freaking close to a Triforce, but you at least get to pick up where you left off. Another welcome feature is the save option. In fact, it's the first NES game to have a battery backup, which is more convenient than a password system, although it is possible to lose your data, which can cause enough anxiety to send you into therapy. But beating this epic adventure in one sitting is basically impossible until you've mastered it, and even then you have to invest a lot of time, so the save option was necessary. And you do get to keep up to 3 files saved, so multiple people can give this a go on the same cartridge. While this game is often credited as a forefather of the RPG genre, it wasn't a full-scale RPG at all, as there were a limited amount of verbal interactions, and there was no system of leveling up. But it did have sprinkles of RPG elements, and the whole blend of action-adventure with exploration and puzzle solving into the mix is what sets it apart, especially for the time. I mean, we were so used to games with only one screen in the whole freaking game, and that was plenty. Open the door for this mammoth, and prepare to have your freaking mind blown. I can't go through this review without mentioning the music too. Now there isn't a whole lot of variety here, and the underworld dungeon themes are mediocre, but the main title theme, which is an alternate arrangement of the overworld theme that you'll be hearing for most of the game, is just plain iconic. It doesn't need to be said, but it has to be. The game does have one glaring flaw though, and that is the annoying as fuck beeping sound that you get when you're down to 1 heart. It serves as a warning that you're near death, but like after 5 beeps I get it. It's as annoying as my goddamn seatbelt alarm. At the end of the day, The Legend of Zelda was an absolute groundbreaker. It's not the type of game you want to pop in after a long day at work and just Steven Seagal your way through with minimal effort. It's a grind, and there are some points where it's maddeningly frustrating, but completing this game is one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever have in a video game, and it is deserving of its stature as one of the greatest and certainly most influential games of all time. When you start the game, you have no weapon, so head into this cave and this old man will give you a sword. Now, like I've said before, you don't technically have to go through the dungeons in sequential order, but it is a good idea. So, level 1 is the first dungeon to target. First go north, and you'll encounter 4 red Octorocks. They fire rocks straight ahead, which you can block with your shield, but it's just as well you attack them from behind or from the sides and not have to worry about it. Clear them out, and head east. You'll find 4 more Octorocks in this wooded area. Wipe them out, and head north, where you'll find another 4 Octorocks. Once again, kill them all, and head north. Here you'll meet the red levers, and a Zora. The levers don't fire projectiles, but they emerge from the ground and can catch you off guard. Watch for the spots in the dirt that form cracks just before they pop out. They'll duck back down underground and re-emerge from another spot, so be ready to adjust. The Zora in the water always makes things more of a pain in the ass, spitting projectiles at you while you try to fend off the levers. You can kill these pricks if you have long distance attacks, but you don't have a sword powerful enough to do the job right now. So focus on avoiding its attacks and then head north again. Here you've got 5 red Octorocks, plus a blue Octorock, which is the same shit, it just takes more hits, plus a Zora. This is a tight space and a good amount of enemies, so be aware of your surroundings. If you have full health, it may be wise to just ignore them and move on to the next screen, which is west across the bridge. But if you need health, it might be worth the risk of killing them to get some hearts and have swords you can shoot. Once you cross the bridge, you've got 1 Octorock on the screen to kill before you head into the tree to the level 1 dungeon, aka Eagle. The door up north is locked and you'll need a key to get inside. So first head west and you'll meet 3 Keeses, or Keese. I don't know what the hell the pluralization is supposed to be. They're fucking bats though, and they fly around sporadically before slowing down to a full stop before taking off again. Keep your distance and take advantage of their slow period to take them out. Once all 3 are dead, you've got your key. Go back where you came and head east into this room where you'll encounter 5 skeleton soldiers called Stalfos. They simply wander around, but take a couple of hits, so just make sure you don't have any walking into you while you take the others out. One of them is holding a key, so snatch that up after you kill him, and now you have 2. By the way, each of these keys can only be used once. Go back to the main room and unlock the door up north, where you'll reach 3 more Stalfos. Wipe them out and head north. There are 5 more Stalfos here. Take them out and you'll get a key, and you're left with 2 doorways. Head east and kill the 8 Keeses that are in here. You'll end up getting a compass out of the deal, which shows you where on your map the Triforce is, although at this point you don't have a map, so you can only see the rooms you've already been in. Go back where you came, head west, and there are 6 Keeses in here. Take them out and unlock the northern door. There are 3 gels in here. They're basically little slimes that wander around in short stop-and-go patterns. Kill them and then push this block to open the door to the east. Inside, an old man will tell you the eastmost peninsula is the secret. File that info away, go back, and head east into this room. Kill the 5 gels and take the map. Now you can see the layout of the dungeon you're in. This helps in tracking down secret areas so long as you take notes on where you've been. Before you go through the locked door, head north and there are 3 Stalfos in here. You can only traverse on the tiles, the water is inaccessible, so you don't have a lot of room to work with. One of these pricks has a key, so once you take them down, open the door up north. In here are 3 red Gorias. These guys toss boomerangs, so keep your distance and try to attack from the sides or behind. You'll get a key after defeating all 3, so unlock the western door and you'll encounter the traps, which close in on you from the sides as you cross between them. So lure them into closing and retreat so you can cross while they slowly reposition themselves. Then push this block to access the stairwell, which leads into an underground passage. These areas are the only parts of the game where you actually move in a side-scrolling manner. Climb down the ladder, kill the Keeses, and grab the bow. Now you're able to fire arrows once you buy some. Now go back to where you got the map from the gels and unlock the eastern door. There are 3 Gorias in here. Wipe them out and you'll pick up the boomerang. Now you've got a secondary weapon, which helps if you're not at full health and have no long range attacks. The boomerang can kill some enemies, but has a tendency to stun most, which will make slashing them up a lot easier. So either way, it's quite useful. head east, and there's a key at the bottom of the room. As you make your way to the key, you'll notice these big fucking hands called wall masters popping out of the walls. If you get grabbed by one, you'll be brought all the way back to the beginning of the freaking level. So needless to say, you don't want this to happen. You don't need to kill them, so you can just grab the key and head north into the next room. But if you want to try to get some items, blast continuously. And if you can't shoot swords, the boomerangs will freeze them and make it easier for you to slash away at them. And the next room is the boss, Aquamentus, the first of several dragons you'll encounter. He fires 3 projectiles in spread shot formation. If you can fire swords, keep your distance and maneuver your way in between the attacks and unload on him. Otherwise you'll have to rush him after you dodge his attack. Slash him and retreat so you can safely dodge another attack of his. Keep this up until he's done for, and you'll get a heart container from him, which gives you another maximum hit point. Go into the next room and grab the Triforce piece and you'll get all your health restored. You'll immediately be transported to the outside of the dungeon, and now it's on to level 2. Go back in the direction you came, and when you get to this screen with the Octorocks, head east and you'll run into 4 Peahats. These guys fly around and then slow down to a full stop before starting back up again, similar to the keys. But the difference here is the Peahats are invincible while they're moving, so you'll have to wait for them to stop to kill them off. Simply keep your distance when they're moving and attack them when they come to a stop. Or you can just say fuck it and move on. So then go north and you'll face some Octorocks. The next step is to go east, but if you're not at full health, go north and you'll find this ferry by the lake that'll fill all your health. This is a good spot to remember if you're anywhere in the neighborhood. So on the next screen, you'll meet the blue Tektites. These are actually the more difficult variation than the regular red ones, but it's not really all that noticeable to be honest. They're one of the easier enemies in the game, they just hop around a bit. Stand back and fire your swords, or use your boomerangs to stun before moving in. Once you take them all out, you can enter this cave here where this impatient prick demands that you buy something immediately. Jesus Christ, I just walked in here. You can buy a magic shield, bombs, or arrows. Now that you have the bow, the arrows are a useful purchase, but aside from buying them, they'll also cost you a rupee each time you use one. I guess rupees are a sort of fuel source for the arrows, I don't know. I would get the magic shield first, and if you don't have the money, you can wander around the nearby areas of southern Hyrule where the weaker enemies of the game generally reside, and stock up on some rupees. Really, it's optional, you don't need this right away, but come back for it soon if you don't. Keep in mind, when you buy stuff at these shops, you have to physically make contact with it, and if you have enough rupees, you automatically buy it. There's no prompt that pops up asking if you're sure you want to buy. If you end up dying, just continue and all the enemies you wiped out will respawn, and you can continue farming up on some cash. The bombs are pretty useful too, as you're gonna want to do some blowing shit up in the next dungeon. But enemies will sometimes drop these, and there'll be some you can pick up in the dungeon, so it's up to you. Head east, and there'll be 3 red moblins on this screen. These guys wander around and fire arrows every now and then, which can be blocked by your shield, and they take 2 hits to kill. You can kill them if you want to scarf up some items, but you can just as easily walk right past them to the south exit. This area has a bunch of red moblins and the slightly more powerful blue moblins, who take an extra hit to kill. After dealing with them, head east using the upper path, and you'll be in close quarters combat with some blue moblins. Then head east and there'll be some more blue moblins. The fighting is optional here too, but take the first path to the north either way. There'll be a bunch of blue moblins here, but if you don't want to deal with them, you can easily head west to advance, and you'll have a quintet of Octorocks. Wipe them out, and take the stairs up, and you'll come across the entrance to the level 2 dungeon. There's a blue Octorock hanging around if you feel like taking them out. Just watch for the seemingly harmless statues. If you make contact with one, it will reanimate, revealing its true form as an Armos. They just run around, but they can move quite fast and be a pain in your ass. The boomerangs can really get you out of a jam against these Koreans, but you're better served to just be careful and not awaken them at all. Keep in mind, if you do decide to mess with these guys, make contact from behind or from the side. If you do it head on, you'll take a hit. So enter the door to level 2, aka Moon. Take the north door, and you'll be introduced to the snake enemies called ropes. They don't fire any projectiles, they just slither around, but they'll pick up speed when you line up with them, so be ready to strike. After you take them all out, the western door will open and inside will be another batch of ropes guarding a key. You don't have to kill them all, you can just grab the key, but feel free to wipe them out for items. Go back where you came and head east. There'll be a few more ropes in here. Kill them all, then head south and find yet another batch of ropes. Kill them all, and you'll get a key once they're all dead. Go back up and unlock the eastern door. In here there'll be some gels guarding the dungeon's compass. Kill them all and grab it. Go back, head north, and you'll come across some garayas. After you finish them off, unlock the eastern door and there'll be a room of gels guarding the map. Take them out and scarf up the map. Head back, go north, and you're in a room full of ropes. Wipe them out and you'll get a key. Head east and you'll face 3 blue garayas with statues in each corner of the room shooting fireballs at you. This is a fucking pain in the ass. You really have to use your boomerang to stun these guys, all while keeping your eyes peeled for the oncoming fireballs. When you eventually take them out, you'll get a magic boomerang, which gives you much better range than the regular boomerang. Go back, head north, and you'll meet the mall dorm, a string of fireballs that maneuver across the room like a snake. It'll split into 2 and glide across the sandy floor slowly. Stay back and fire your swords, or do a hit and run method if you're not at full health, which you're probably not after fighting the garayas. After you defeat it, you'll get a key. Head east, and the room will be booby-trapped, so ease your way inside to bait the traps, and then move on. There'll be keys in here guarding bombs. Take them down and grab them. Go back, head north, and there'll be a bunch of ropes. Kill them. Unlock the door to the east, kill all the gels, grab the rupee they drop, and head north where an old man will give you the hint that Dodongo dislikes smoke. Go back where you came, head north, and you'll be in a room full of red garayas. The space to move is narrow here. Try to sneak up on them. When you take them out, head north, and you'll meet the boss, Dodongo. Using the hint that the old man gave you, you'll want to use bombs against him, because nothing else will work. He'll otherwise just wander around the room. All you have to do really is avoid contact with him. Drop a bomb in front of him, he'll eat it, and it'll explode inside him. You can also stun him if you drop a bomb right on him, and then you can actually use your sword. Use whatever method works, and you'll take him out, get another heart container to extend your hit points, and then head west to grab the next piece of the Triforce. So now it's on to the third dungeon, but first let's grab the white sword. Now that you have a max of 5 hearts, you're able to access the second most powerful sword in the game. First go back a couple screens after exiting the dungeon with the blue moblins. Kill them if you want, or just head north where there'll be more blue moblins. Kill them, and then touch this statue to activate the Armos. Kill it, and you'll notice a staircase has been revealed in its place. Head down, and a red moblin, who apparently is a double agent, hands 30 rupees to you on the down low, telling you it's a secret to everybody. Then go up north where you have a bunch of Octoroks and Azora in the water. Take them out, and if you have bombs, blow a hole in the wall here, and inside is another undercover moblin handing you 30 rupees. When you leave, head up north this way, avoid the P-hats, and go east. Kill off the Tektites, go up these stairs, and enter the cave, and this old man will give you the letter, telling you to show this to the old woman. Head back out, head west, and go up these stairs you passed by earlier. There'll be a bunch of Tektites here. Kill them off and blow a hole in the wall here. Go inside and there's an old woman that doesn't say shit to you. That is until you go up to her and use the letter. Now she opens up her potion shop, and from here on out, every old lady in the game with a potion shop will be open for business. And it doesn't matter which old lady you show the letter to first, it has the same effect. It's a good idea to buy potions. The blue ones, also known as the Water of Life, will fill your health completely, and the red ones can fill your health twice, which make them a better value. But if you don't have the cash, a blue one is still very useful. So leave, head east, kill this huge swarm of Tektites, and go into the cave. This prick merchant has a few things on sale. If you have the money, buy a blue candle. You'll need it in a little while. Then go down the stairs. Nothing but statues here who can all be turned to Armoses. Activate this one to reveal a staircase. Kill him, and an old man tells you a secret is in the tree at the dead end. Leave, head west, and now you're in a weird screen where you find yourself in a loop unless you exit to the east. This place is called the Lost Hills. Remember this area for later. So head east, and there's a shit ton of Tektite and Azora. Take them out, and go up the stairs. Now here there's a Zora and a blue Lionel. These Lionels fire swords and are a pain in the ass. Plus they're the stronger variation. But even though you've got a fucking Zora to deal with too, on the bright side there's only one Lionel here. There'll be places later where you're dealing with more, believe me. Try to stay away from the front side if you have to attack from a short distance, or you could stun him with your boomerang. Once you take him out, enter the cave up top, and the old man in here will give you the magic sword. Now enemies like red moblins can be taken out in one hit, and blue moblins down to just 2, while certain groups like the blue and red Octoroks are essentially interchangeable now that both of them take only 1 hit. Leave, go back down the stairs, and head west, ignoring the Zora. Although you can kill these assholes now, so go ahead if you want the satisfaction. Next 2 screens have Zoras too, but there are also falling boulders. Just run right past them and ignore the Zoras. Then go south, and then east. Although there is a hidden cave in here that you can blow up and buy potions if you want. Head east, ignore the P-hats on the screen, and head south. Now you're at the bridge to level 1. Head south, and then west. There'll be a Zora on this screen. Kill him if you can. Otherwise, use the candle to burn down this tree to a hidden staircase, which leads you to a man offering up the item of your choice, a red potion or a heart container. Pick the heart container, as you can buy red potions anytime you want, and there is a specific amount of heart containers you can store. Head west again, and there's another hidden staircase if you burn down this tree in the corner. You can get a magic shield here if you don't have one already. Head south, and there'll be some Octoroks here. Take them out, although if you're at full health and cash, don't bother. Killing enemies on screen is always a judgment call. Head west, and there's a Zora, an Octorok, and a small green dot. Remember this spot, and head south. Got a few Octoroks and a Zora. Kill them and head south in this little nook by the river. There's a lever and a P-hat here, but never mind that shit, just enter the cave, and an old lady will tell you to meet the old man at the grave. Go back north, and then head west. There'll be some Octoroks, and a cave that leads to a potion shop. Head west, and here you've got red moblins, blue Octoroks, and a partridge in a pear tree. After dealing with that, head south, and you've got a few more blue moblins. Head east, and you've reached the dungeon to level 3. Only a Tektite stands between you and the door. Level 3 is also known as Manji, aka Swastika. When you first step in, head west. It's the only option. And you'll find a bunch of slime enemies called Zol. The Zol is basically a larger, slower version of a gel. In fact, after you hit one, it'll split into 2 gels, and then you have to take care of them. So when you deal with a series of Zols, you don't want to attack them all in Zol form first, or you might end up with way too many gels on the screen. Try to do one batch at a time, splitting a Zol, and then taking out both gels before moving on to the next one. Anyway, there's a key in this room you'll want to grab, and you really don't even need to kill all these pricks, so keep that in mind. Then head north, once again your only option, and this room is also littered with Zols. This time the room isn't quite as wide open, but you do want to kill all of them this time, as you'll need to get the key. Then go north and you'll meet up with 3 Dark Nuts. Yeah, they're called Dark Nuts. These knights are a pain in the ass, because even though they just walk around, they can't be hit from the front, so you have to time your attack so you'll hit them from behind or the side, which is easier said than done because these fuckers always change direction with the randomness of a goddamn moth. So you've really got to anticipate, try to hit him from the side as he walks across from you, or just sneak up from behind and attack. Either way, if you're doing this at short range, you're going to want to run quickly in case he changes direction on you. Now you have your options here, but let's go west first, being careful of the traps on the perimeters, and kill the keys before grabbing the compass. Head north and kill the keys in this little area. Let them come to you if you want to pick up the items they might leave behind. They'll leave bombs after you kill them all, but you can't get them now. Instead, go back and to the west, and there's a bunch of dark nuts in here. Kill them all, and the door to the south will open up. Head inside, and holy shit balls, there's a lot of dark nuts in here. Now again, this is optional, although you do get some bombs if you kill them all, but is it really worth it? But then again, good luck finding the opening amongst all this bullshit. Best bet is to keep your distance, and an opportunity will present itself. Head down the stairs quickly. Take out the keys, and you'll get a raft, which is a necessity. Go back and quickly exit the room to the north. Then go north again, and you've got a whole bunch of bullshit. Souls, keys, and bubbles. These bubbles won't do any damage to your health, but they will temporarily prevent you from using your sword for a few seconds, which feels like an eternity when you're dealing with all this shit that surrounds them. They also push you back, which can disrupt your rhythm or put you in harm's way. They're the last hazard you need to worry about on the screen, but you still want to keep an eye on them and keep contact to a minimum. There's a key in the middle of the room. Killing these guys is optional. Head east after, and now you're in that room you kinda were in earlier. Grab the bombs and unlock the eastern door, and there are 3 Zols in here. Killing them off will award you with a key. Grab it, and now you've come full circle. The door to the south leads to the original fork in the road when you fought the original Dark Nuts. First unlock the northern door and watch out for the traps. Kill the Zols, and at first you're like, what the hell, this door should have opened up after I killed everything. But you still have to activate it by pushing this block. Head inside, and an old man will ask if you got the sword from the old man at the top of the waterfall. Why, yes, I did. So in case you hadn't gotten enough hearts yet, this acts as a clue to keep pursuing that area. So then head west, and you've got a swarm of keys. Kill them, grab the key, and head back to the fork room again. This time unlock the eastern door. Another booby-trapped room with a couple of Zols. Wipe them out and take the map, although you've explored most of the swastika by now. Head south, and there are a few dark nuts. Take them down, and the door will open. Now you've got a few Zols and keys with these annoying ass bubbles. Kill them all, grab the rupees, and the northern door will open. Inside you'll meet the boss, Manhandler. It has 4 heads, one on each side of its body, and it throws fireballs at you, several at a time. The objective is to take out each of the heads, but as you do, it gets progressively faster with each decapitation, making it more irritating the closer you get to destroying it. If you can't fire swords, spam attack it with arrows. It'll be worth spending the rupees to take this motherfucker out. Or you can leave bombs if you can accurately predict where it'll go. This will be harder to execute when it's faster. Once it's done for, grab the heart container and head north to get your 3rd Triforce fragment. Getting to level 4 is really quick from here. Just go back the way you just came until you get to that little dock. Now that you have the raft, you can sail across to the entrance to level 4. Ignore the P-hat and walk inside. Level 4's theme is the snake, and the first thing you're going to want to do is head west. Wipe out all the keys and take the key when you've cleared the room. Then go back to the main hall and head north, where you'll have your first encounter with a Vire. 3 of them to be exact. They just hop around. They don't fire anything and they're not too fast. Nothing too complicated about them. But if you kill them, they'll split into a pair of keys. Take them out if you want to. There's no real benefit to it other than gaining items, because these pricks will respawn when you leave and come back into the room. Either way, unlock the eastern door and you'll be in a pitch black room with some more Vires. This is where the blue candle comes in handy. It'll light up the room, and you can even use it as a weapon. You can only use it once per screen, however, and walking into the flame will hurt you too, so don't do that. This room has a winding, walkable pattern, no thanks to all the blocks being laid out in a bizarre fashion, so shedding some light will certainly help the navigation factor. Grab the compass, head back, Then go north and there'll be a bunch of keys. Killing them all is optional, but grabbing the key is optimal. Head west after that, and you're in another dark room with fires. Light the room up, and you'll see it's another room with questionable interior design. Although you don't necessarily have to kill everything on the screen, it's recommended to at least clear most of it. Since there's not a lot of leg room, you're going to want to make some space to head north, and you're now in another dark room, this time with some Zols. Light up the room so you can see where the walkable tiles are. The water is impassable. Grab the key and head north into another dark room. Light it up and you've got some more fires and bubbles. Thankfully the bubbles are trapped behind the water, but once you take these pricks out, you realize you can't cross. At least not yet. Next, unlock the eastern door and hey, we don't have to light up the room. This one has a few more fires on some narrow paths. Take them down, and don't worry about this locked door to the north. It's a waste of a key, as it just leads you to this one section of the room with the map that you'll be able to access later from the other side. Instead, head east, and you'll meet some Zols, bubbles, and like-likes. The like-likes are a pain in the fucking ass. They don't really do anything besides wander around, but if you get grabbed by one for long enough, you'll lose your magic shield on top of losing health. And then you have to go back and buy another one. Try to mash buttons frantically if you find yourself trapped. After killing all these fucks, you'll now be able to unlock the hidden staircase, which you can trigger by pushing this block. Head down into the basement, fend off the keys, and grab the ladder. This doesn't really help you climb anything, but it will let you cross 1 block's worth of water. So go back to the impassable room with the fires, and you'll have to kill all this shit again. Then unlock the door to the north. Here you have a room with some fires. Skip this bullshit and head east. Light up the room and kill the gels. Head around the perimeter to grab the map, and now I'm going to show you the non-recommended scenic route in case you're a completist or if you simply ran out of bombs. First, go back to where you came, get the fires out of your way, or at least the ones blocking your path to the door. And then you'll have to face another manhandler. After taking it out, the northern door will open and an old man will tell you to walk into the waterfall. This guy is not a TLC contrarian, he's actually giving you a clue to file away for later. Unlock the door to the east, light up the room before you even enter because it's booby-trapped and you'll need to see your way around these blocks. Then head south and you're in a room of fires. Kill them all, and once you do, you'll be able to open the door by pushing the block. Now going back to where we were before when acquiring the map, instead of going back, blow a hole in the wall up here, and you'll enter a room full of rupees. Now you have the option to blow another hole in the wall to the north, which leads to the room of keys with the key. After taking them out and grabbing it, head back to the rupee room and blow a hole in the eastern wall, and you'll emerge in the room of fires we left off at. After pushing the block and entering the room, you'll meet the boss, Gleeok, a 2-headed dragon that spits fireballs. These balls travel fairly slowly, but they're frequent enough that you're gonna want to pay attention to them. If you can, shoot swords from the opposite wall at its heads and continuously dodge the fireballs. Eventually one of the heads will be decapitated and float all around the room, shooting fireballs of its own. Keep your focus on the head still attached to the dragon. Evade the floating head and take shots at the dragon whenever you see an opening, all the while dodging fireballs from both ends. If you're not at full health, run up to it and take wild shots. Hopefully you have enough health going into this battle, along with potion refills, to keep you alive long enough to withstand its punishment and take it out. Once you do, grab the heart container, head north, grab the Triforce fragment, and now you're halfway to fully assembling the Triforce of Wisdom. Okay, so now on to level 5, but first we're going to take a few detours. First detour you're only going to do if you have at least 250 rupees. If you don't, wander around and kill shit until you're rich enough. Or you can try your luck heading straight to level 5. This is an optional route right now, although you're really going to want to go this way at some point. So sail back down to the dock, go south again, and then west twice to the screen with the Octo Rocks and the nearby potion shop. Head north, and you've got some Octo Rocks and a Zora. After taking them out, go north again, and you've got more Octo Rocks and a Zora. Kill them off, and head into this cave and buy the blue ring. This is a game changer. It'll beef up your defense big time, so you'll take a lot more hits before losing hearts. Really, you can get this earlier on in the game if you feel like you're having trouble advancing. You'll just have to farm up some cash. So now backtrack a bit to the bridge down here. Go east and there'll be some Octo Rocks to kill off. And a shop up north with a magic shield in case you didn't get one earlier. If you feel like doing some gambling, head south and you'll find some Tektites. Wipe them out and head into this cave where this guy offers you to play a money-making game, which is simply a game of chance where you pick between 3 rupees and you might end up gaining some rupees or you might lose some. They're always randomized, but you seem to lose more often than you win, so I wouldn't bother with this bullshit. Heading east from here will put you back at the starting point of the game. Head north, kill the Octo Rocks, and blow a hole in the wall here, and a crooked moblin will give you 30 rupees. Head back south to the starting point and then east. Kill the Octo Rocks, and if you need some potions, there's a hidden shop under this tree if you burn it down. Now you're just gonna keep heading east for a while. You've got some Tektites on the first 2 screens, and then Levers and Zoras on the next few. But when you get here, blast a hole in the wall in this spot, and you'll get another offer of a potion or a heart container. Once again, pick the heart container, leave, and keep heading east, killing all the Octo Rocks along the way. When you get to the coastline, head north, and you've got more Octo Rocks and Zoras. Kill them, and enter the shop here if you're in need of bombs. Head north again, kill the Octo Rocks, and use the raft to get across here and get the heart container. Then keep going north, more Octo Rocks and Zoras here, and when you get to the dock, take the raft up here and enter what looks like an underground dungeon, but it's really another choice between potion and heart container. You know which one to pick at this point. Go back, head west, kill the Octo Rocks, and then north, more Octo Rocks, and then west again. And now you're in the area you traveled right after beating level 2. Go north and then east again as if you're going back to grab the letter, but instead keep going east and you'll find a tree, along with some peahats. Inside the tree is another game of roulette, but if you remember the old man telling you there's a secret in the tree at the dead end, and the other old guy mentioning the East Peninsula having a secret, you'll know to explore this area. And if you head through this hidden passageway here, you'll be able to enter this room and get 100 rupees handed over to you. Now go back to where you just came from near the level 2 area, head west, and there'll be some Tektites here. Take them out, and then blow a hole in the rock here, where you can get another heart container. Go up the stairs here, and then west a couple more times till you get to the Lost Hills. Now, if you were to hypothetically head west and blast away these Tektites, and then remember the old guy in the last dungeon telling you to walk into the waterfall, you'll realize he wasn't actually senile. He was right. Head into this waterfall and this old lady will ask you for a bribe for information, but she's a fucking bitch and will shaft you if you don't pick the amount she wants. But she will relent and give you directions to finding your way through the Lost Hills. It's simply north consecutively until you reach the mountaintop. So don't even bother with this waterfall bullshit and head north until you reach the entrance to level 5, ignoring the lever on your way inside. This dungeon's theme is the lizard. Start off heading east and you'll meet a new enemy, a bunny called the Paul's Voice. They just hop around, but they take a shit ton of hits to kill, so they can be a bit of a chore. They are much quicker to kill with the arrows, so if you have a lot of cash, I'd definitely consider it. Otherwise, you'll have to be patient. When you're done killing them, you'll get a key. Grab it, go back, head north, and it's dark, so light up the room and you'll meet the Gibdos for the first time. They're mummies that just walk around very slowly, though they do take a lot of hits to kill them, so they can be a pain in a crowded room. These guys in particular are trapped behind the lava, so you can kill them easily from long range. One of them is carrying a key, so grab it from him after you take them all out and unlock the door to the east. An old man will tell you that Dig Dogger hates a certain kind of sound. Go back, head north, and you've got 3 frickin' Dodongos. Use the same bomb technique as before, just be aware of the other Dodongos as you target one. After taking them all out, you'll get more bombs, and the door to the west will open up. Here you've got a bunch of Zols. Take them out and grab the key they leave. Then head south, and you've got some Gibdos. One of them has bombs you can pick up. Grab them, and when you're done with these guys, blow a hole in the western wall and head inside. This room is packed with blue dark nuts, and there are a few spots in the room that really limit your walking space, so be patient and try to get the hell away from them if it gets too crowded. Try to find some empty space. After finishing them all off, push this block to access the staircase. Climb down, kill the Keeses, and climb up the other side. Unlock the southern door, and there'll be some keys in here. Take them out and grab the key. Blow a hole in the eastern wall, and for 100 rupees, this old man will sell you an increase in the maximum amount of bombs you can carry from 8 to 12. Now go back to where you came and unlock the western door. Another large batch of dark nuts, but at least there's more walking space in this room. Kill them all, and then push this block to reveal the hidden staircase. Go down, kill the Keeses, and grab the recorder. Now you can play some Jethro Tull. Actually, this lets you warp your way to the outside of a dungeon that you've already beaten, giving you the option to navigate around Hyrule a little quicker. But there's another use for this item which we'll get into shortly. So now backtrack to where you came from via the staircases, but even after killing the Gibdos in this room, the door won't open. It only opens from the other side. So you're gonna have to blow a hole in the eastern wall, kill the Gibdos, and then the northern door will open up. You don't have to worry about the Dodongos again. Hasn't blowing up 4 dinosaurs been enough? Unlock the door up north to get the map, go back, head east, light up the room, and there's a bunch of Zols in a tight room. You'll get 5 rupees if you wipe them all out. It's up to you if you want to bother. Head north, and there's a bunch of Gibdos. Kill them and grab the key they leave behind. Head north, and there's a few red dark nuts with narrow walking space throughout the screen. Kill them and get the compass, although at this point you really don't need it. Triforce is just ahead, so you really don't have to bother. Head north, and in this room are Gibdos, Keese, and Pulse Voices. Light up the room, kill them, and grab the key they leave behind. Then unlock the west door, and some more Gibdos are hanging around. Kill them and grab the key that they leave behind, and head west. This room has some tight walking space, and leaping all about are Pulse Voices. You don't have to kill them, but you'll want to if they get in your way. Blow a hole in the northern wall, and an old man will give you a very cryptic but important hint that there's supposedly secret power in the arrow. Leave, unlock the western door, and you've reached the boss, Dig Dogger. Now first off, you can go south, but the only reason you'd even think about doing this is if you're in desperate need of health during this battle and you want to try your luck finding hearts from these Gibdos. Keep in mind you'll have to kill all of them to get back out of the room. So Dig Dogger is basically a gigantic eyeball monster that's pretty much invincible. He moves slowly and doesn't shoot projectiles, but the 4 statues in the corners do, sending deadly orbs your way. Remembering what the old man said about this cycloptic bastard hating a certain sound, you'll want to equip your recorder and start playing a tune. This causes him to shrink, and now he's faster, but he's also vulnerable to your attacks. Attack, but be careful of the onslaught from the statues. They're definitely more of your concern than Dig Dogger himself. Even after wiping him out, the projectiles keep coming, so quickly grab the heart container and get your ass to the north and pick up the Triforce fragment. 5 down, 3 to go. After leaving, head south to the Lost Hills, and then continuously head west past the Zoras and falling boulders until you get to the river. Use the ladder to cross it, and continue west, past some more boulders, and then you've got some Lionels and Peahats. If you want to kill them, go ahead, but there's no real need. Head south down this ladder, and now you've got some pea hats and an army of Armos statues. There's a shop in this cave too. Buy some bombs if need be, and then head west again. More Armoses in here, but this one right here you're going to want to activate, as he is guarding the power bracelet. This will allow you to push large rocks that are in your path. Kill this bastard and take it. Then head west again, and if you're at full health, go ahead and kill the Lionels on the other side by shooting your swords. I wouldn't really bother spending rupees with the arrows. Then down this ladder, and if you need potions, blow a hole in the wall here for a potion shop. Just don't activate any of these Armos. Then head up this other ladder, and now you're in that area where those other Lionels were, but if you didn't kill them, they're on the other side anyway. Just don't let them fire their swords at you. Now that you have the power bracelet, you can push this rock to reveal the staircase, and now you can navigate around Hyrule a little quicker. There are 4 of these shortcuts scattered around the map, each one with 3 staircases that lead you to the others. There's the one you just entered from, which is more or less northwest Hyrule. Then there's one in northeast Hyrule near the Armoses guarding the secret in the dead tree guy. Southern Hyrule near the Tektites just east of the starting point of the game, and Central Hyrule in this wooded area just south of the health fairy at the lake. So you don't have to worry about any of that right now, but it's good to have the shortcuts activated. For now, go back down the ladder and head west. There are pea hats in here. Ignore them and move on. The stairs here lead to the entrance to level 6, but first continue west and now you're in a graveyard. There are 6 screens in this area that are almost identical. A bunch of graves, plus a ghost on each screen that wanders around slowly, and it's pretty easy to kill. The one caveat is, aside from taking a lot of shots to finish him off, you could summon another one by touching one of the graves, and they can work you over by strength and numbers, so don't touch any of the graves, except for one. When you first walk into the graveyard from here, head north 1 screen to this section of the cemetery. Kill the ghost, and then push this grave out of your way to reveal a staircase. You'll only be able to do this with the power bracelet. This old man will hand over to you the most powerful sword in the game, the magical sword. This is what that old lady was saying about finding the old man in the grave. But you have to have at least 12 hearts or you can't carry it. Thankfully, you do right now. Now head back to where you came and up the stairs, leave the Lionel alone, and enter the dungeon to level 6, which is dragon themed. First go east and you'll encounter the Wizrobes for the first time. The red variation of these will appear in a random spot and fire a wave of energy at you. There will be a couple seconds before and after each of their attacks, leaving just enough of an opening to hit them. Just don't face them before they fire. Attack from behind or the sides in that case, and remember that your shield can protect you from the energy waves. One shot with your current sword will be enough to take them down, but they deal some serious damage, so avoid their attacks at all costs. After killing them all, you'll get a key which you can use to unlock this door where an old man tells you to go for Goma's eyes. If you didn't already have a key, don't bother unlocking this door. Just take the one you got down here and head west, unlocking this door where you'll meet some more Wizrobes. Killing them is optional. Head north either way, and you'll face some Zols. Kill them, and take the compass they leave behind, and then head north. Now you've got a shitload of keys, and statues spitting fireballs at you. The fireballs are slow, but you've got to keep an eye on them as you swat down the keys. And even after taking them out, the fireballs will still come, so quickly head north as the blocked door opens up. Next room is booby-trapped. Lure each trap before moving on, head north, and now you've got a room filled with bullshit. Likes, a bubble, and Wizrobes, both red and blue. The blue ones don't teleport like the red ones do, but they take more hits to kill, and they do this quick dash movement while also firing the energy waves. So yeah, this is an undertaking. You're gonna need to be aware and react well. Best bet is to get into open space as much as possible to give you some extra room to dodge their attacks. When you take out everything except for the bubble, which can't be killed, you'll need to push this block to open up the door. Head in and you've got more Wizrobes and narrow spaces to fight them. You don't need to kill them, unless you really want the 5 rupees they leave behind. So head past them and go through the door up north, and you've got another battle with Gleeok. Except this time he has 3 heads. Reminds me a lot of Triclide actually. Use the same strategy as last time, only now you've got a second head that floats around after decapitation, making this a little more of a chore. After finishing him off, the eastern door will open. Head inside and you've got some Zols, Likes, and Bubbles. After taking them out, you'll get the map of the dungeon. You've got some options here, but first go north, kill the Wizrobes, and once they're done, push the block here to reveal a hidden staircase. Go down, fend off the Keeses, and grab the magic rod. Now you can fire the same blasts of energy that the Wizrobes do, giving you a long range option if you don't have full health, and it's stronger and more economic than the arrows. Now go back to where you came, cross the lava with your ladder, and head east. It's a dark room, so light it up. There are Wizrobes in here, but you don't have to kill them. Just take the key and head east. And now you've got another room of bullshit. Wizrobes, Likes, and Bubbles. This part is totally optional, by the way. The newly acquired rod will go a long way if the Bubbles disable your sword here. Be evasive and chip away at these pricks until you take them out and the door up north opens up, where an old man will tell you there are secrets where fairies don't live. Now go back to where you got the map and unlock the southern door. It's another dark room, so light it up, and there's a key in the middle being guarded by Wizrobes. Grab it and run if you can, you don't need to kill them. Head into the southern door, and you'll be in another dark room you'll need to light up. This room is full of Vyres. Wipe them out, and the door to the east will open up. This room is full of bullshit too. 3 Wizrobes, 3 Likes, and a bubble. Wear them down, and once you've cleared them all, you can push this block to reveal a hidden staircase. Go down, take out the keys, and up the other side will put you in a room with Zols, Likes, and Bubbles. Killing them is totally optional. Head south, and this room is dark, so let there be light, and kill the Vyres while avoiding the Bubbles. When the Vyres are dead, you'll get a key. Head west, and watch out right away because the entrance is booby-trapped. Inch back, and then run through, avoiding all this shit. You can go south where you can get some bombs after killing some Wizrobes, but it's not worth it. Just ignore all this shit and unlock the northern door where you'll encounter the boss, Goma. It's a giant crab that slowly shuffles around and shoots fireballs at you. Remembering what the old man told you before, you're going to want to aim for its eye, which opens up briefly every now and then. Your weapon of choice for this battle is the arrow. It'll make short work of him. Just avoid the fireballs, and when he opens up his eye, fire. One direct hit will be all you'll need. Take him out, grab the heart container, and enter the north door to grab the piece of Triforce, and you've only got 2 more to go. So after leaving, head south down the ladder and back west into the graveyard. Then head south, and then west again, and down the ladder south. If you want to kill the ghosts along the way, go ahead. Next screen you've got some Lynels. Ignore them and keep moving south, and then quickly east on the next screen to avoid more Lynels and some Peahats. Now you're in the Lost Woods, which is similar to the Lost Hills in that you have to run a specific pattern to get through. The good news is you're actually coming from the area that the hidden path leads to, so all you have to do is deal with the blue moblins, or ignore them and move on east. Kill the moblins on this screen and burn the tree here with the candle to reveal a staircase that'll get you 100 rupees. Fucking sweet. Now go north, wipe out the moblins here, and this path up north will lead you to level 7, but we'll skip it for now. First go east, and there'll be more moblins here. Take them out, and go north. Here will be another fairy that restores all your health. Remember this spot if you're dying. Then go back and head east. Go north 2 more screens and you'll recognize this area as the place you got the blue ring. This time by the food. It can be used as a way to lure enemies, but I don't find this to be worth the price at all. But there is another use for it, which we'll get into in a little bit. Now go back where you came to the spot where level 7 is, that you skipped over earlier. Now you get here and it's just a red moblin, so what the hell's going on? Well, if you remember what the old man in level 6 said about there being a secret where fairies don't live, then you're pretty much supposed to conclude that this being the lake right next to the place where fairies do live, I guess, then this must be the place where fairies don't live. So now what's the secret? Well, of course you're supposed to know to play the recorder here. You know, the item that normally takes you somewhere else, which would interrupt your discovery of what the hell the secret is here when you're exploring it. So yeah, play the recorder, and it dries up the lake, revealing the staircase to level 7, which is demon themed. Start off going east, and you'll find 2 Maldorms, which will be easy as shit to take down with the firepower you have now. You'll get bombs after destroying them, then head north. This is a dark room, so light it up and kill all the Keeses. Then head east and you've got some blue Gorias. Take them out and the north door will open up, where an old man will tell you that there's a secret in the tip of the nose, referring to the nose of the demon, the shape of the dungeon in this case. Head back and then go east. You'll face another dig dogger with those damn statues spitting fireballs at you. The only reason to kill this prick is to pick up the bombs it drops, so you probably have no reason to bother with him. Just continue east and kill all the Stalfoses in here, taking the key from the one holding onto it. Then go back to where you came, heading west 2 screens over where you killed the Keeses, and blow a hole in the northern wall. Optional is to first head east 1 screen, and you'll be welcomed by more blue Gorias. Kill them, grab the bombs they drop. See, all the enemies drop bombs here, so you're able to explore the walls with trial and error bomb blasts. So now head north in the Keese room, and you've got several Stalfoses who are blocked by the water. So wipe them out from a distance, and take the compass one of them drops. Now go east, and you've got some more Gorias here. Killing them is optional, although you won't be able to backtrack through the door you just came in without taking them out. Now go east and 3 more Dodongos. This place is a fucking boss battle reunion, isn't it? Your reward for killing them? 5 rupees and a waste of bombs. Fuck that. Head south and you've got a few keys in here. Just be careful. The top and bottom perimeters are booby trapped. Then head south and take out the ropes while avoiding the fireballs from the statues and grab the key. Head back to where the Dodongos are and unlock the door up north, where this old man will sell you another maximum bomb upgrade for 100 rupees, bringing you up to 16. Leave, head back east, and take the northern door. In here are blue Gorias, bubbles, and keys. Some of them will be trapped behind the water, making things a little easier. After taking them all out, the northern door will open and you'll have another pointless battle with Dig Dogger and some fireball statues. It's pointless because you don't need to kill him, and you get jack shit from winning this battle at all. So blow a hole in the eastern wall, head inside and fight some Maldorms again, and grab the key after defeating it. Then head back, go through the western door, and you've got a bunch of Gorias in close quarters. Killing them is optional, as you'll only get 5 rupees from defeating them all. Unlock the northern door, and you've got a Goriya who says grumble grumble, and won't let you pass. Okay, do you have any idea how many Goriyas I've killed throughout this journey? Am I seriously gonna let this one fucking Goriya, a red one at that, stop me from getting to where I need to go? So yeah, you can't go anywhere from here, unless you have the food. Use it, and he eats it, and disappears. Go north, and this dark room is a shit show. Goriyas, keys, and bubbles, with not a lot of room to walk, thanks to all the water. But the Goriyas are limited too, so you can keep some distance and wipe everything out from there. And don't worry about the bubbles too much. You can use the rod to attack if they disable your sword. Just watch those damn boomerangs. Take them all out, grab the map in the middle, blow a hole in the northern wall, and grab all these rupees. Then blow another hole in the eastern wall, and you've got some Garayas in here. Kill them to open up the south and eastern doors. Optional, but not recommended at all, is to head east. In here are blue Garayas and 4 fireball statues. A lot of shit to deal with at once. But you've got to kill the Garayas to unlock the door that closed behind you. You'll also get a key from them, so scarf up and get the hell out of there before the fireballs do any more damage. But never mind that shit, just go south, and there's more Garayas here. But you don't have to kill them, just light a bomb on the eastern wall and pass through. A bunch of Garayas in here, kill them all, and then push this block out of the way to get to the staircase. Go down, wipe out the pieces in your way, and grab the red candle, which allows you to use more than 1 flame per screen now, which is very useful when you're exploring and testing out the trees that are flammable, but you really don't need it if you know when to use it. Anyway, go back up, blow a hole in the eastern door, and wipe out the blue Garayas in here, grabbing the bombs they leave behind. Now if you did grab the extra key in the Hellacious Garaya room, you would essentially be gifted the option to unlock this northern door, easily dispatch the Moldorms, and then you'll get more bombs. You just picked some up, so this is rendered even more pointless. So just unlock the eastern door, and this time you do have to fight this Digdogger prick. Use the recorder to shrink him down just like last time, but it splits off into 3 this time, making this even more fun. Watch out for the fireballs as you run around all over the place, and take them out. The northern door will open. Head inside and more friggin' Dodongos. Thankfully, you don't need to fight these guys either. Instead, blow up the eastern wall and pass through. In here, you've got some freaking wall masters. And the last thing you're going to want to do is go all the way back to the beginning. Keep in mind the bubbles that are in here too will only disable your sword momentarily, so you can still use your rod to fend off the wall masters. You have to take them all out, but where the hell do you go from here? Well, you have to push this block here to reveal a hidden staircase. Kill the keys as you head toward the other ladder, and you end up in this room with some Garayas. Killing them is optional. Maybe you want to try for some hearts, because the next room is the boss. Blow a hole in the eastern wall, head inside, and it's Aquamentus again. Kinda weird that in this dungeon filled with boss rematches, the main boss is the first one and is even easier now that you have better weapons. Take him out, grab the heart container, and head into the eastern door to grab the Triforce fragment. Only 1 left. Head south, and then south again, taking out the Moblins if you like, and then east, the only direction you can. Moblins and Octoroks are also optional to kill here. Head east again, and stop in this potion shop to resupply yourself. You're ultimately going to go east 7 more screens from here, almost nothing but Octoroks. This is the southern part of Hyrule, very close to the starting point. When you get to this wooded area with the Moblins, head north. There'll be more Moblins here. Head east at the top path. More Moblins to kill here, get them out of your way, and head south. Then quickly east again, and level 8 is here. Right? Well, this is one of those spots you'd have to find from a lot of trial and error, burning random trees. But this tree right here does stick out like a sore thumb a bit. And if you try lighting it up, you'd be pleasantly surprised to learn that it leads you to level 8, the theme being the lion. First head west and you've got another boss rematch. This time Manhandler with some statues shooting fireballs. Use the same strategy as before, just watch for the damn fireballs. After finishing him off, the western door will open, and there's a bunch of shit in here. Dark nuts, Gibdos, and bubbles. The rod works against the Gibdos, so even if the bubbles take away your sword for a bit, you can still use this. Take them out first to free up some space before using the sword against the dark nuts. After taking them all out, push this block out of the way to free up the staircase. Head down, kill the keys, and grab the Book of Magic. Now you'll shoot flames out of your rod, burning enemies to a crisp, or lighting up rooms, effectively rendering the candle useless. Now go back up the stairs and head back to the main room you entered in. This dark room has keys, bubbles, and Zols in a tightly spaced out area. Light the room up, wipe them all out, and grab the key. Head back to the main room, head north, and you've got another goddamn battle with Manhandler. Killing him is optional, but unnecessary, although he is a little easier this time thanks to there being no statues. Either way, blow a hole in the northern wall, and you've got several dark nuts and statues in every corner sending fireballs your way. Be careful avoiding all this shit, take them out, and the north and west doors will open. But first, unlock the east door. Light the room up, and grab the compass in the center. You don't need to eliminate all the Pole's voices. Then come back and head into the west door. It's a weirdly designed dark room with diagonal walls. Light the room up and kill off the Gibdos, Keeses, and Pole's voices. Grab the key in the center and head west again. Here are some dark nuts with 4 corners of fireball breathing statues. This is tough because you have to avoid the fireballs while positioning yourself to attack while navigating around the dark nuts' sporadic as shit walking patterns. When you do take them out, you'll get a key. Grab that shit and head back. Now go north and it's a rematch with Goma, as if I haven't had enough of these retreads. After finishing him off, the north door opens and an old man will tell you that Spectacle Rock is an entrance to death. This hints as to where Ganon's lair is. Now go back, ignoring that locked door to the east, because once you go south, back east, and then north, you'll be on the other side of that locked door and saved yourself the key you just earned. Here you've got Gibdos, Dark Nuts, and Bubbles. Killing them is unnecessary. You'll just get some rupees. Instead, just unlock the northern door and you've got some Dark Nuts and a pair of Fireball statues. Thankfully, the Fireballs come at you in a slow enough tempo, but still, be careful. Take them out and the eastern door will open up. But first, blow a hole in the northern wall, and, goody gumdrops, another rematch with Manhandler. You'll have to take him out to get the map, although it is optional technically. Blow a hole in the western door and you'll get a batch of rupees. Ignore the northern door unless you're low on bombs, because you'll face some Pole's voices that reward you with them. Instead, go back, unlock the northern door, and whoopity-doo, a rematch with fucking Goma. And 4 fireball statues, yay. After taking him out, the north and east doors will open up. Ignore the northern door, that just leads to Dark Nuts that will reward you with bombs if you defeat them all. So much like the last room with the Pole's voices, only do this if you need bombs, and you really only need to do one or the other. So head into the east door and you've got Pole's voices and Dark Nuts. Take them all out and push this block here to reveal the staircase. Go down, eliminate the Keeses, and grab the magic key. Now you essentially have an infinite amount of keys, which will come in handy when you access the final labyrinth. Now go back up and start heading back south where you came from, getting back to the door on the east that we skipped over. Go inside, and you've got Gibdos, Bubbles, and Dark Nuts. Killing them is optional. You'll get bombs as a reward for clearing the room, and you'll only need 1 the rest of the level. So unless you're at 0, find an opening and just head down the stairs. Kill the Keeses in here, go up the other way, and you're now in a narrow as fuck room with a bunch of Pole's voices hopping around. That key in the corner is useless thanks to the magic key, but you have to kill all these pricks to get the door to open up, so you gotta fight them. Find the gaps. I know there's not a lot of them early on, but blast like a madman, and the more of them you kill, the more space you'll get to work with. After taking them all out, head east. Or not. Yeah, all you really have to do is blow a hole in the northern wall here and you're at the boss, a rematch with Gleeok. Would you expect anything less? Just for shits and giggles, let's see what prizes lie behind the door that we're ignoring here. A dark room with Dark Nuts, and fireball statues, and a useless key in the center. That's always a hit. And the wide open door leads you to a drunken old man telling you the 10th enemy has the bomb. Man, what the hell is this guy smoking? Boy, am I glad I went this way. So yeah, Gleeok is the same as before, except he has 3 heads that decapitate and float around instead of 2. Hang in there, slay this goddamn dragon, grab the heart container, and head north to grab the 8th and final piece of the Triforce, completing your mission to obtain the Triforce of Wisdom. So now we've got to kill Ganon. who is way up in North Hyrule and Death Mountain. We can expedite the process by blowing into the recorder until you're outside of level 1's labyrinth. Cross the bridge, head north, and then west. No need to kill anything unless you have to. Head into the potion shop to stock up, then go north, cross the river, let these boulders fall past you, and go up the ladder. Ignore the Lionel and head west, and you've got Lionels and P-hats in a tight space. Sneak past them if you can, or take them out as quickly as you can if they're in your way. You want to go into this dungeon with full health if at all possible. Next screen is where Ganon's lair is. Remember this old fart telling you about Spectacle Rock? That's what this is. You've got a few Lionels and levers. Avoid them if you can, as you blow a hole in the rock here. Again, the fight or flight option really depends on if you can get through without confrontation. So here we go, level 9. There's no turning back now. The theme is Death Mountain, with the shape of the dungeon being a skull. Obviously, go north in the first room, there's no other option. And normally if you enter here, an old man will tell you one who does not have Triforce can't go in. But since you do have Triforce, the doors are open. Both of these doors take you into a 3x3 grid, where the objective is to get to the center. There's no need to go into any of the surrounding rooms. They're only here to fuck you up. You don't even have a map yet, so you're pretty much expected to come to the conclusion that you're wandering around in circles and you should start blowing up walls. All 4 walls of the center room is accessible by explosion, but there's no good reason to traverse throughout the circle, so you might as well just use the easier room between the first 2 immediate options. So go north, and there'll be a couple Zols, likes, and bubbles. Killing them all will get you a key, but you don't need that since you have the magic key. So blow up the western wall, and there'll be a couple Lanmolas in here. They're basically slow as shit centipedes that are similar to the Moldorms in terms of breaking them off piece by piece, and they're not very fast either. Take them out, push this block, go down the stairs, and kill the Keeses on your way up to the other end. You'll emerge in a tight room with likes. Take them out on your way around the room. Now you can go south here into this room with the Vyres, but after dealing with a bunch of bullshit, all you'll eventually get out of it is an old man saying that the Eyes of Skull has a secret. This is a hint in regards to the skull shape of the map, so the skull's eye is a targeted room. So instead, go east. There are wizrobes in here. Ignore them and blast the southern wall. In here are likes, Zols, and bubbles, some of which are trapped on the other side of this wall. Take them all out and you'll get some bombs. Blow another hole in the south wall and there'll be a few wizrobes in here. Kill them, grab the compass they leave behind, go back 2 screens and head east. You'll encounter a flying eyeball creature called Patra. It flies very slowly but has a plethora of minions flying around him. Keep your distance and take out the minions. You'll absolutely have to in order to kill it, because the Patra is invincible until all the minions are dead, which sucks because the rod and arrows won't work. So if you're not at full health, you're going to have to anticipate where the minions will be when they expand and position yourself accordingly to swipe at them as they pass. Once you wipe out the circle jerk, the Patra is a sitting duck. Keep in mind, however, that you don't necessarily have to kill it, but it does leave bombs, so if you happen to be low on the count, go for it. Otherwise, don't bother. You'll want to unlock this north door eventually, but for now, go south. Kill the gels if you want. Don't bother unlocking the west door. It just leads to the other side of this room you've already explored. And don't go south either, it's a dead end. Instead, blow a hole eastward and you've got another Patra battle. Kill him and grab the map he leaves behind. And you'll see where on the map the Eye of the Skull is that the old fart was talking about. Now, you can blow a hole in the south, and there are 3 rooms down here to battle through, but you only end up getting keys, which you don't need. So don't bother with that shit, and blow a hole up north instead. There are wizrobes, likes, and bubbles in here, none of which you need to kill. There's no reward in this room, so just move on and blow a hole in the north wall. This room has wizrobes and bubbles. Kill the Wizrobes, and then push the block to access the stairs. Kill the Keeses, and grab the red ring. Now your defense is beefed up even more, giving you a fighting chance to take out Ganon. Now go back where you came from, where you fought the first Patra, and unlock the north door that we bypassed earlier. The old man in here will tell you to go to the next room. What next room? Well, if you look at the map, you'll see that you haven't been to the room east of here, so blow a hole in the wall. Kill the Wizrobes in here, and then push this block to reveal the staircase. Head down, take out the keys, and you'll come out on the southwestern area of the lair. Kill the Zols if you want, and you have a few options here. You can head north, but there's no reason to. After fighting through this shit, all it leads to is an old man who tells you Patra has the map. I already have the map, and this doesn't indicate where Patra is, not to mention in the first encounter with Patra, he didn't even have the map, so this is bullshit. Heading south is unnecessary too, as it just eventually leads you to the other side of the room that you can get to easier by just going west, kill or ignore the Keeses, go west again, and here's another battle with Patra. Kill him off, and then push this block to get to the stairs. Head down, kill the Keeses, and you'll end up on the other side with some Wizrobes. Ignore them for now, blow a hole in the north wall, kill the Wizrobes in here, and push this block to reveal the stairs. Head down, kill the Keys, and grab the silver arrow. This is the dagger that will put an end to Ganon, and the same one the old man was talking about. Now head back where you came from, kill the Wizrobes, and then push this block to go back down, and you'll pop up here where you fought the Patra. Now go north, and you've got some like-likes in this weirdly designed room. Kill them off, and you've got one of two options, depending on which you feel is easier. They both lead to the same place. Option A, after the western door opens up, head inside, take out the Zols if you want, and go north. In here you've got some Wizrobes with some lava streams to make it a little more difficult to find your footing, but you can just bypass these pricks and head north. Just watch out for the booby traps as you enter. Kill the Wizrobes, and push this block to reveal the staircase. Just once again, be wary of the booby trap as you head down the stairs. Now option B, instead of going west, you head north into a dark booby trapped room with some like-likes. Kill them if you like, and head north, being mindful of the damn traps. And here you've got Wizrobes, like-likes, and bubbles. Kill them, or just ignore them and blast this western wall, and you'll end up in the same booby-trapped room with the Wizrobes. So either way, go down the stairs, kill the Keys, and you'll emerge in another booby-trapped room with some Wizrobes. Maneuvering around in here is a pain in the balls due to the lack of room and the booby traps. It makes dodging the Wizrobes' attacks more of a chore, so keep your head on a swivel for their attacks, and keep away from the perimeter so you don't get snagged by the traps. When you finish them off, bomb the western wall, remembering to retreat because these booby traps are still active. This room has Zols, like-likes, and bubbles. Take them out, push this block, go down the stairs, kill the Keeses, and you'll pop up on the other side and you've got yet another battle with Patra. Thankfully this is the last time you'll have to face this fucker, because once you take him out and the north door opens, you'll enter and face off with Ganon. He disappears, and suddenly there are fireballs coming at you from all over the fucking place, left, right, and sinker. After a little while, you start to notice the pattern. The source of the attack, i.e. Invisible Ganon, is rotating around the room in a counterclockwise sequence. The first thing you have to do is get him out of invisibility mode. To do this, you have to hit him a few times, but since you can't fucking see him, you pretty much resorted to having to time your attack based on following the rotation and timing your shot based on anticipating him. Or you can just stand in one of the spots where he eventually appears and just spam attack until he eventually shows up there. You'll know you've gotten a hit when you see him appear momentarily. After 4 hits, he'll look brownish with a very uncomfortable expression on his face. He's not in good shape at this point. This is when you bust out the silver arrow and finish him off with one shot. If you take too long while he's in this frozen state, he'll go back to invisibility mode, and you have to start all over again with getting hits on him. After taking him out, he turns to ash, and the north door opens. Inside, Princess Zelda is barricaded by flames. Wipe these away with your sword, and you've completed your mission and rescued Zelda. Link and Zelda each hold up the 2 Triforces, and the credits roll. But that's not entirely the end of the game either. From here, you can start the second quest, which is basically a bonus remix of the game, with new placement of items in hidden areas, new layouts for the dungeons, and an overall higher degree of difficulty. This variation is for those that either found the game too easy, if you can believe that at all, or they know the first quest too well and want a fresh experience. Or if you're just a completist and you feel the need to beat the second quest in order to fully complete the game, then knock yourself out. Of course, this wasn't the end of the series either. It would continue with Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, but that's for another day. And that wraps up this edition of Aqualung's Game Reviews. See you next time.